What do civil engineers do? Civil engineers design, build, maintain and adapt the infrastructure that our everyday life depends on. Some civil engineers work on buildings, from houses and hospitals to skyscrapers and stadiums. Others work on the things that connect them, the services below ground and the roads, bridges and tunnels between them. Civil engineering also includes big transport infrastructure projects like airports, railways and harbours, as well as niche projects like the main stage at Glastonbury Festival. Due to the great variety of projects, the best civil engineering teams are made up of people from a whole range of backgrounds with a huge variety of skills. As we're all aware, we are currently facing a climate emergency. Human-induced climate change is threatening almost every aspect of life across the globe. If you've ever wondered what you can do to make a difference, becoming a civil engineer is one way you can work on tackling the issues posed by climate change. Civil engineers are involved in projects from carbon capture to collaborations with ecologists to support urban rewilding. They work on the structures needed to create renewable energy, such as dams and wind turbines, as well as designing smart heating and lighting schemes for buildings to reduce their energy consumption and carbon demand. In the face of extreme weather events and rising sea level, civil engineers provide flood defences, shoreline protection and earthquake-proof structures for communities at risk. As well as working on mitigating the impacts of climate change, the civil engineering industry must also address its contribution to the climate emergency. In 2019, the buildings and construction sector was found to be responsible for almost 40% of global energy and process-related emissions. Passionate people are needed now more than ever to join the industry and drive change. As a civil engineering student, I'm encouraged to think creatively and to question current practices. Whilst on placement in a civil engineering firm, I was able to learn from current design techniques and appreciate how large-scale projects are run. I was even able to go on site at the Crossrail tunnels. At university, I was taught to question how and why a project is built. I learnt about the waste generated when a structure is over-designed and was taught to consider the embodied carbon associated with the whole life cycle of a project. In one group project, we were asked to design a pedestrian footbridge with a focus on reducing the embodied carbon in the design. My team came up with the solution of using structural members made of recycled plastic to limit the use of new materials and fulfill a function using waste. Whilst the concept would need further research before it could be used, pushing the boundaries of current techniques is what will allow civil engineers to address the climate crisis. This new thinking often comes from young engineers passionate about the environment. So the real question is not, what do civil engineers do? But more importantly, what could you do as a civil engineer?